25 years. Yeah. In America. This guy is super cool, okay? Different era. And you'll see the difference, okay? So you'll see that this sport has changed. Okay?
Can we pull him up?
John Brzezink's the GOAT. Yeah. Yeah, he'll be there this weekend too.
And is he still competing?
John is not really competing, but he's just so tied into the sport. I think it's inevitable that he comes back.
How old is he?
He's like 60, 61. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the man. This guy's the man. So, you know the movie Over the Top?
Mm-hmm.
So Sylvester, that's actually John. The tournament was real.
Really?
Yeah, that was a real... The movie followed the tournament. And John is actually the guy who won it.
And John's not that big.
No, he's not.
How much does John weigh?
On a good day, on a great day, John's like 230. But when he was young and healthy, probably 195.
So when he was winning,
when he went like 25 years around 210 pounds, beating every single person on the planet.
How?
He's awesome. John Brzezinski. So John started arm wrestling when he was a kid with his dad. And he's one of the first guys. John's one of the first guys who arm wrestling has kind of evolved in its respectedness, okay, as a sport. I think if you went back like 40 years and you talk about arm wrestling, people would be like, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, let's go arm wrestle." And I'm gonna get better by arm wrestling by doing pecs and glutes and get my whole body strong. And John was kind of one of the first guys who was like, "I'm an arm wrestler. I practice arm wrestling. I go to tournaments. I don't need to lift weights." Okay, so he started young. The dude's thumb is probably like bigger than mine, and he's like 6'1", 6'2". So he's to a certain degree built for it, but masterful technician.
So he doesn't lift weights?
No.
So all he did was arm wrestle to train for arm wrestling?
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
Right. So it gave.
He's not a big guy.
No, he's not. That's a former Russian champion, Zauer. Actually, no, Zauer might be Georgia. He might have been Russian at this time, but he's a Georgia. Yeah. John's technique was way above everybody's. Way above. I remember coming up, I had heard about John Brzezinski for years before I ever saw him, because it's pre-internet, right? John Brzezinski silently ruled the arm wrestling world for decades. Pre-internet, pre all this stuff, and he went around the world beating all the monsters, statistics. And this is who I actually got the world title from. So I beat John in 2008 for the world title, and it looks very different now. So I was probably the last of the small super heavyweights. If you call me small, I'm bigger than John, but not by a lot. See Denis Saplankov on the left. That guy's a really famous arm wrestler. He was one of the guys who really raised the level. So that guy had a strength level. Dennis, he came in and he won the world title without really doing anything. Yeah,
I can't believe he doesn't lift weights.
He doesn't lift weights.
All he does is arm wrestle. No other kind of physical training at all?
He's a mechanic. He's a special guy. Listen.
That's incredible, man.
The arm wrestling world loves and worships John Brzezinski. He's the GOAT. He's like the forefather. I remember when I was coming up, I read everything he wrote. He is one of the reasons why we all kind of respect taking time. Don't need weight so much. Specialization. John is kind of poster boy for specialization.
And what kind of training did he do?
Bueno, sí, puede ser desde diciembre.
Just arm wrestle. He would do specific things when he was arm wrestling?
We keep asking the same questions about John. We think, some people think he had a but everything kind of points towards, even if he's kind of kidding us and tricking us, it's not a lot. He arm wrestled his dad as a kid. Okay. And they're practicing all the time. So this Iceman, okay, that's the guy who John beat to become kind of the best. Okay, this guy is the guy before John.
So he was the original king of arm wrestling.
He is, yeah.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker, yeah, Iceman. And he was the best for a long time, but John eventually beat him. You know, you see that's John is like a kid, right? John's probably like 17 there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, John arm wrestled like arm wrestling is going to make you strong.
Imagine.
Oh, you will get that, and that's a lot of reason why we get guys It was so cool. We won $500. Like, that was it. And then by 2010 or so, even before that, the PAL, we were talking about thousands of dollars, $10,000. WAL came along and we got a massive influx of money. You were talking about $20,000, okay? And then we were on ESPN, so there were sponsors, okay? So you could get some sponsor money. If you were the best, you could barely make it. And then COVID happened. And COVID burnt down everything, burnt down all the leagues, which were kind of fractioning the sport, right? We had the best guys from Europe competing together, best guys from North America. When all the leagues burnt down from the ashes, and a lot of people, and that's when TikTok and YouTube really started kicking, because everybody was locked in their house, and somehow arm wrestling got found. And our views went through the roof. People started to follow. Arm wrestling is good for TikTok attention span. You can see a whole, yeah. And then, so East versus West came along, and now we're everything. UFC, we're like the UFC of arm wrestling now, East versus West. All the best guys in the world all pull at East versus West. And there's an event every 7 weeks, international.
So, like, what does a top guy make to win a tournament now?
It's tricky when we talk about money, but you will make, like, if you're a top arm wrestler now, you definitely don't need a side job. You definitely don't. And you're probably definitely making a healthy six figures, definitely. So East versus West kind of raised the level. After COVID, it's not the same sport. It's not. Like, the champions now, like, it's tough. It's tough to win a world way harder to win a world title now than it was 10 or 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. Now we have Levon.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there any drug testing?
At East versus West, there's not. Okay, so it's F1. Everything goes. But
what does F1 mean?
Like IndyCar. Everybody's got the same car.
Right.
F1, like innovation.
Right.
Innovation. WAF, government funded. That has testing.
What is WAF?
Sorry, World Arm Wrestling Federation. Okay. So World Arm Wrestling Federation is kind of like the base of the sport. Okay, it's a world level, so every country kind of plugs into it. They have state or provincial, then they have national, they have like Europeans or North Americans, and then they have a world championships annually, different part of the world every year. That's tested.
It's such a universal thing. Like, I remember arm wrestling kids in high school. Yeah. Everybody knows how to arm wrestle. It's always been around. It's always been a thing. So it's really interesting to think that it's becoming more popular now than ever.
It is. It's wonderful. I love the sport. I think that it's a great sport because of its safety, its longevity, its simplicity. Yeah, beautiful sport.
But there's a lot of aspects to it. It's simple, but you're still learning.
It is.
So it can't be that simple.
Like anything, the more you dive into something, the more it opens.
Yeah.
At the level that I'm at now, I continue to learn subtleties on a technical level, but it overflows more now into more vague and kind of like lifestyle principles. And I feel like that's how I get my big gains now is the way I live my life. Like, the sport, kind of cleans up my whole life. Yeah.
Because you want to perform well.
That's it.
And so you're just so dedicated that, like, you're on top of your nutrition, your sleep, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Somewhere between a balance between chaos and order, perfect performance is found. Yeah.
The balance between chaos and order is interesting because you kind of, to become great, you kind of have to have some chaos.
It's so essential.
Yeah.
Chaos is a huge part.
Talk to me about that. What is that?
This is I love this one. This is so good. This is one of my latest learning points that I've taken into account. And it's massively affected my planning, the way I plan events. So I have met many people in my life, and I've met probably in my entire life, probably like 2 people who I would consider completely pure, like basically like a Jesus Christ kind of person, like no sin. Okay. But, and on the other side, I've met only like a couple people who I thought were generally pure evil, or, but I think most people are somewhere in the middle. Okay. And they need that balance in their life, and I think that you need to, if you're talking about performance on a single date, this balance of what you are needs to be structured. So I think that actually in the fight, like when you're actually fighting, a lot of people, I think, perform best in chaos. Okay, so when you get into the stage, you have to be completely wild, no rules. Like you need to be completely unhinged. But leading up to it, you need to structure. You need to really become very ordered. And the more you can bring order into your life, the better. I went to a kind of a presentation by this guy Mac. Okay, he's a geneticist as well, and he was talking about how life only exists in this balance between chaos and order, and from that, I brought that into my training by making sticker charts. So when I was young, my mom used to motivate me through sticker charts. So when I did a good job, she'd give me a sticker, and I loved it. So I have brought this concept into my training where there's only 2 stickers. There's a blue sticker, which is you didn't quite make it. It's representative of chaos, and a white sticker, which is representative of order. And after I compete, I purposefully move into chaos. And it's not as though like, oh, I'm in chaos and I let everything catch on fire. I don't need structure. I can go wherever, I can learn new things, I can try new things, I can open up my mind to whatever I want. Nothing's required. But really, I'm trying to gather data, put together a plan so that when I move into structure, I have a new kind of plan.
So like, how do you structure that? Like when you say you move into chaos, like you allow yourself to not have a plan.
Yeah.
Like so this is obviously very planned.
Yes. Yeah. So I will move from my life is structured that it's in blocks. Okay. So I move from major event to major event. I am now at the very beginning of probably the longest block that I've ever had in my life. I'm going to face that guy, Levon, in like 16 months. It's forever. It's an eternity, So I am now in this period when I can travel. I can be more open. In a way, it helps get me there. I am trying to come up with what I think is the perfect blend so that when I lock into my basement, I'm being super accurate. But I do believe that if you just try and be good every day, if you try and live a certain way every day, it creeps into your life. I need like a finish line, okay? Like if I know I only have to be like this for 4 months or 5 months, I can make it. If I'm like, I have to be like this for my whole life, everything creeps in, it falls apart. But it's an aid for me psychologically to remain disciplined. And it's a way for me to fit chaos into my life where it satisfies me as a human being, and I get to have fun, and I get to go outside of my box. But that's the hardest thing to be a world champion at 51, is to put all your energy into something so simple. This is the most difficult piece, is the psychological dedication to do 10 hours of wrist curls in a day. This is the difficult
You do
piece.
10 hours of wrist curls
Dude,
in a day.
I do. I'll get up in the morning, and my wife Jody will help me. Okay, we'll have food, and I'm doing like, and that's the thing. So right now I'm coming up with the formula for the next one, but I was doing 7 times 2, because I was doing right and left. I'm going back to pumpkin training, which is right hand only.
Why do you call that pumpkin training?
You know about growing giant pumpkins?
No.
You ever seen those fairs where they have like a 800 pound, right?
Yeah.
So what that teaches is if you want to have a giant pumpkin, you pinch off all the flowers on the vine, except for one.
Oh.
Yeah, my giant pumpkin. Yeah, so I try and put everything into the right. I try and put all, and this is specialization. So I've done this project I did it for like 6 years before.
So when you're saying you put everything in the right, mean you don't do wrist curls or anything with your left hand?
Nothing.
Really?
Yeah. Now,
is this a energy resource allocation thing?
Yes. Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah.
Is there a difference between your right and your left?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So you see, and I came up with this theory, a little bit because of just nature, okay? And I see how nature works.
Yeah, you have one giant.
Is this one bit bigger?
Look at the size of the difference. Put those up.
It's a bit bigger.
It's twice as big.
Okay, and I was balanced. Okay, I was equal. I was left-hand world champion also. Okay, but as I've aged, I'm like, how can I remain at the top of the sport? I'm gonna have to cut things.
But why does training your left arm take away from your right arm?
I think we only have so much energy. I think there's like a finite amount of energy that we have. And if I tell my body that my energy goes here, more of it will go there and more development will happen. I don't think it's like I have this limitless amount of energy where I can be like a proportionate bodybuilder and be a world champion. I think that to be at the very top, you need to be very specialized and very focused. That's what I believe. This comes, like, a lot of people criticize me for this. Okay, I get heaps of criticism, and I'm very well aware of it. And I think that if you were to,
can I stop you there?
Yeah.
We say heaps of criticism by who, and is it valid?
I don't think it's valid.
So who's criticizing you?
I think that most of the criticism comes from more junior players. Okay, I think that most senior arm wrestlers, most guys who are like on my level, they understand it, and to a certain degree, we all do it. Okay, I'm just an extreme example, but a lot of guys do it. Okay, a lot of guys do this in the sport. There's a couple things that lead me to this. Okay, the pumpkin is just a fun metaphor. Okay, but when you get hurt in the one side, I think that a lot of people notice that somehow there's this amazing compensation that happens. Another thing is we have freaks in the sport. We attract some real weirdos. Okay, a guy called Oleg Zok or Matthias Schlitti. Okay, and these are hellboys, real life hellboys. Okay, so they have like one arm that is crazy jacked.
I've seen this one cat. He's a small dude.
Yeah.
And he has one arm that's like a leg.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Probably Oleg. It's Oleg or Matthias. They're our best examples. Oleg is better. Like Oleg's a world champion.
What's his last name?
Zok.
What a great name.
Oh, he's so cool.
What a great name.
Yeah, and
that's the dude. Yeah, that's the dude.
And I've fought him.
Look at the size of his fucking left arm. That is insanity.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I actually pulled this guy at the UAL many years ago, and he was like 165 pounds. And I was the current world champion, and the kid almost beat me. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. Left-handed, yeah.
Jesus Christ, his arm is insane.
Isn't that awesome?
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
He has the arm of a 300-pound man.
Dude, at 170 pounds, he was almost not even the world champion in his division. He was almost the world champion in the open. Okay?
God, look at his left arm, and it's crazy.
And what's extra crazy about it is the insertion points. It's not just that he's hypertrophied and blown up. Like, the insertion points are different. He's like the angles of his musculature, the development, like it's wild.
And how is that genetic? Is that built?
He was born like that to a certain degree.
But his right arm looks normal.
Normal.
So how is it so different on his left arm?
So it's my theory, okay, that he has a bit of a blood flow disorder. Okay, I believe that, so the arterial spread in the body, for most of us, is all the same. We have like an even distribution across our body. But I believe that his arterial spread is different. I think he's got a heavy arterial flow. to one side.
This is just your own personal theory?
I've heard, I talked to Matthias. Matthias is another guy with this disorder. He was the one who kind of led me to believe that this is what was going on with him. And so this made me believe that there was so much value in blood flow alone when it comes to the expression of what you are. Like, I think anything that just gets more blood flow enhances. Yeah, the expression of the human being is largely determined by the circulation that the genetic, piece receives. And I think with guys like this, it happened like in utero.
That left arm is fucking crazy.
Yeah. And he got in a vicious car crash, a horrible one, almost killed him. And he rehabbed, and once again he's the world champ again in the 85 kilo division, completely. And he should be dead. Like, he broke everything, like super trauma, and he's still the best.
Just pieced it back together again.
Yeah, pieced them back together, and he's still the man.
Wow.
But what he taught me and what other people taught me is the value, and I believe it's all theories, okay? I could be wrong on everything, but I think that it's the blood flow that really, it heals, it strengthens. And a lot of the thing is the heart isn't strong enough to feed all the structures, and that's where movement comes in. So that's why I train this way, increase circulation. Yeah.
Wow. So, but I still don't understand, like, clearly he's working that one arm more than he's working the left arm. The right arm.
Yeah, I think to a certain degree. But because of the way he was, this is Matthias, right?
Same deal.
Yeah, and he's like German national champion kind of level. Yeah, and like it's hard to compete with.
Right, but how much of that is just work with the right side over and over and over again, and how much of it is, you think, a genetic component?
With these guys, it's a lot of genetic.
Really?
Yeah, with them. But I believe the reason why it's expressing that way is because of an arterial spread. Okay, and talking to Matthias, he's the one that led me to believe that initially.
Is that arterial spread influenced by work? Like, does it change the expression of the arteries in the muscles? I
think you can influence blood flow, for sure. Like, I think if you are repeatedly working one region very heavily, your circulatory system is going to adapt. Like, my endurance capabilities on my right and my left are completely different. And that's from years of doing this. And so I have to think that, it's not just a cellular thing. It's got to be the blood flow. It's got to be everything that's adapted over years. Yeah. And look, I really care about being the best. And all the information that I have makes me, I'm doing it again. Like, I laid off it for a couple of years, but I've started to do it again as I do my final prep one more time.
When you say do it again, what are you doing differently?
I'll go back to, so my work capacity, work amount that I'm doing between my right and left arm, sometimes it's equal. Sometimes is what I do with the right is what I do with the left. Sometimes when I go to the club, I'll do right arm, I'll do left arm. And now I've just swung it back. So I go to the club and I'm basically arm wrestling everybody I can right hand until people are kind of bored, and then I'll do some left hand work. But the right is the priority. And the same thing when I do my homework in the basement, I'm doing like 85 to 90% work on the right and maybe like just 10%, like just for timing and whatever on the left. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Super specialized. Yeah.
Yeah. It's insane.
I'm sorry. I was so worried like that I was going to develop like back issues, imbalance issues.
Yeah.
None of that ever happened.
Huh.
Yeah.
Guys do that from archery. They develop imbalance issues just from pulling a bow one-sided. Like my friend Evan, he got a left-handed bow just so he could practice left-handed as well because he felt like it would balance him out.
Right. I think balance is overrated.
Really?
Yeah. I think balance is a nice concept for like some imaginary world that you live in. But if I live in a world where I'm trying to win a world title right-handed, then I need to let my body know that this is what I'm getting ready for and not confuse it.
There's an interesting comparison in jiu-jitsu because there's a lot of guys that have like a very strong right side attack. Yeah. Like Eddie Bravo, for instance. Eddie Bravo's attack is almost always on the right side of the body. Obviously, he has a black belt level attack on the left, but his right side attack is where he puts all his energy to. And his philosophy was along those same lines. If you just develop this one side, like so lethal.
Yeah. I think that so much is about, being able to have an icebreaker, something that stops a match or wins you the match. And at a world level, it's everything. Like if you can bring something from a 99 to 100, but it takes 15 points off your left, that's a trade that a lot of people are willing to make. If I can do anything to push my right a level up, if it makes me, wither away in my left, good trade.
One of the things that I watched that I thought was really interesting, I've been watching a lot of these rock climbers and their ridiculous grip strength.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys. There's that cat that has a YouTube channel. I know you've been on it. Magnus. How do you say his last name? Mitbo. And he had that one dude who's just a super freak.
Yves Gravel.
Yes.
He trains with me.
Okay. That guy went right into arm wrestling and was fucking people up.
Right away.
Which is crazy. Which makes me think that maybe that kind of specialized training is like a cheat code.
It's close. Yeah.
Because that guy also has like enormous leg-sized forearms.
Yves Gravel.
So you can find him training with Magnus because they're in Yves' basement where he does all of his training. And he's doing these, like, how many millimeters is the
like
holds?
2.
Okay. So he's doing 2 millimeter holds with his fingers where he's hanging.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it makes no sense.
He's such a freak.
It makes 0 sense. Like Magnus is super stud, okay? Magnus is like world level climber. Yves, when it comes to the strength component of climbing, it doesn't even make strength. I don't even understand how anybody could even do it. Like, it's like credit card. Mm-hmm. He can do pull-ups off of a credit card.
That's insane.
Yeah.
How?
I don't know. I don't know how he does it. It doesn't, and like he has like rounded surfaces where there is nothing to bite on. Right there. There's nothing.
So he's just chalking up his fingers and he hangs off of those? I want to see that.
There's nothing there. I don't know how he does it. There's nothing to bite. There's nothing. And he's pulling up off. I can't even understand how he does it. So he came into arm wrestling, and he's like 150 pounds.
But it's 40 pounds of his forearms.
So we have a tournament in Ottawa where we both live. It's called the Ottawa Open. And it attracts the strongest dudes in the region. To win the Ottawa Open is really tough. He won it his first year after arm wrestling six weeks.
What?
Yeah. He's complete.
Crazy.
No,
and he weighs what? 160?
Like 150 pounds.
Oh my God.
No, Yves Gravel is a complete weirdo. I've never in my life met somebody who can do the stuff with grip that he can do.
And it's all that training that he's doing. He's doing all this insane grip training.
Yeah.
Which makes me think, like, what if you did that stuff?
Yeah. Yes. Let me tell you, as good as Yves is now, he's going to get even better. Okay?
I can only imagine.
Yeah. Nobody is touching Yves' fingers. But like I talked about earlier, so if you kind of relate it to climbing, okay.
Can you show me some stuff with that guy doing things?
Well, I was trying to find that one.
But just show me some of the other freakish things he does, because he could pick up things from the ground that nobody could pick up.
Yeah, he does grip competition too. So that's another world that's closely tied to arm wrestling is the grip championships, right? Where it's like powerlifting for grip.
Right.
Yeah, and he's the best at that too. Yeah.
It's just nuts, man.
Yeah, it's really nuts. Yeah. So there is a high degree of crossover, right? There is. But there are slight intricacies. Like a kind of way to think about it in climbing, if you have a great grip, you are able to climb the wall. Okay? But in actual arm wrestling, you actually don't want to be the climber. You want to be the wall. Right?
Right.
You want to make it hard for the other person's grip. You don't necessarily... He's capable of climbing any wall. Okay? But once he figures out how to be the wall instead, he's going to be so difficult. It's fun to work with him. Our club in Ottawa, we have like super freaks now. We have all these new guys with ridiculous potential. We got a guy come in who's bigger than Brian Shaw.
Did you ask this? Can you show me some video of this guy?
He wasn't doing anything there. He was just like explaining.
There's a bunch, right?
And I'm on not his channel too. I'm like it's bouncing back in between.
So here he's doing fat grip, arm chin ups.
Did you see the Thomas Inch? You know, see the Thomas Inch on the left?
Yes.
Right. Nobody picks up the Thomas Inch when they're 150. You know.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like this kind of grip is just insane. Oh my God, that's crazy. He's pinch gripping.
Yeah.
And that guy Magnus is strong as shit too. Like I saw a video of him training with Eddie Hall.
Crazy strong.
And he's doing these one-arm rows with like 180 pounds on each side. And I'm like, that is bananas because he's not a big guy.
No, but he's ridiculously strong as well. And even
him, he's dwarfed by this guy's strength.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, Eve is considered the strongest climber in the world.
And did you ask him when he started this and how he got that strong?
I've talked to Eve a lot about his training. He's so detailed. Like the way he trains is very interesting, very progressive, very science-based.
Look at those forearms. That's bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah. Eve is and he's an artist too. He makes masks.
Masks?
Yeah, you know, like movie masks. Like,
oh wow.
Yeah, that's his main job. He makes masks and he can climb anything. Yeah. He's a super cool guy. Yeah.
Wow. Well, so seeing that though makes me think if a guy is that small and he has that kind of grip strength, that has to be a massive factor.
It is.
In your ability to arm wrestle. So why wouldn't everybody do that? If a guy is 150 pounds and he could do that shit, and he's doing it with two arms. I mean, both of his arms are super jacked.
There are levels of specialization.
Right. Do you think it's maybe too late for you to do what he's doing because he's been doing this for decades and decades?
I believe that he is so good at all his grip work, and his grip work is so high, and it does have a lot of crossover. It does. Would I want that strength? Yes, of course. I just think that the motions that I'm doing are actually even more dangerous for the sport of arm wrestling. Like, if I was to advise Eve, and I do, I talk to Eve like every week. I tell Eve, you know, the way he's going to progress his game is by probably doing these more precise movements to become the wall, you know, to become the thing that's hard to hold on to.
Right.
He has an amazing ability to hold on to anybody. Okay. And that's going to take him really, really far in the sport. But I think that I've told him he's older in terms of entry, but he has world championship potential. You know, he's less than a year in the sport.
Wow.
Yeah, he's been arm wrestling since like last November. Yeah, give him like a year or 2 or 3, and he's going to be knocking on the North American top pro level.
Wow.
Yeah, it won't take him long. Yeah, he's a freak for one, and he's super smart. And arm wrestling is a very nice crossover for climbers because so many of the strengths are similar, really similar.
And when you say, so he's very scientific about his training, like what does he do?
The thing that struck me when I spoke to him about his training is he kind of does testing. I found that very, very different from the way I train. So before he does his workout, he does these tests like with his grip, and he like says how easy or hard they are. And if he's not feeling right, he won't do the training. So he'll continue to rest. He'll abort a training session because it doesn't feel right.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm doing it no matter.
Right, right. Interesting.
Yeah, look at whatever I've seen it. It's very detailed. It's.
And where did he learn this from?
I think he's crazy. He loves armor. He loves climbing, and I think he's just obsessed. And I think he probably digests everything. I think he probably studies everything about climbing and strength, and he just put it all together.
So what is he doing here?
It looks like a static wrist test. Looks like he's measuring it through a way to see how much in a static capacity he can generate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pushing isometrics for arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So all just wrist curling ability.
Isometric. Yeah. Maximum output, which is really the main strength that arm wrestlers need. That locked isometric or even negative strength. And all his squeezing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's very special.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So that's the thing. He's got all these charts.
And so he's doing this all himself because there's probably no one that could teach him this stuff. Because he's probably at the top of the food chain with this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a gift to have come around. We love that. We love that we've kind of got him because.
Oh, I'm sure, because when you get a freak like that, like out of nowhere. What is he doing here?
All right, so he's working his curls and he's adding resistance through the elastic. So you can see this is not a climber exercise, I don't think, anymore. He's really switching, to
arm wrestling.
I think he's got the bug. Yeah.
Wow.
It won't be long. He'll be at East versus West for a 70-kilo world title.
Well, it's such an enormous advantage to have these fucking gigantic forearms and insane strength.
Yeah.
And it's just so weird that you could get these guys that are so physically small that are so damn strong. Like when Magnus was doing rows, you're like, where's the force coming from? You have a 150-pound, 160-pound body, and you're doing these 180-pound single-arm rows.
Yeah.
Like, where's the force coming from? Like, is it a tendon strength? Where's the tissue, right? Like, you look at Eddie Hall, you're like, okay, that makes sense that guy could lift that much weight. It's massive.
Yeah.
This guy's not massive.
Right.
If you saw him in a t-shirt, you wouldn't even, unless you looked at his forearms, you wouldn't even think he was strong.
Yeah.
You would say, oh, it probably runs or something. Looks like a normal guy that's fit. Yeah. It doesn't look like a guy who can do 180-pound one-arm rows. So what is that? How do you do that? Where's it coming from?
Yeah, I think that arm wrestlers, climbers, a lot of athletes, fighters too, they start to recognize the value of the hand. A lot of guys, in the communities like strongman, powerlifting, other strength disciplines, they get immense strength through their body and through their shoulders and different parts that by the time it goes through the chain, through the elbow, through the wrist, into the fingers, only a small portion of that is able to get managed.
Right. I see that with guys when they work out with straps. I've never used straps.
Right. Because
to me, with jiu-jitsu, grip is so important. I never wanted to rely only on my muscles and not have a strong grip.
Right.
Like, it didn't make any sense to me.
In so many functional things, the hand is the shortcoming.
Or the feet.
Yeah.
I talked to Nick Curson once, who's a strength and conditioning trainer, and I said, what do you think is like the number one thing that fighters lack on? He said, foot strength.
Yeah.
I said, foot strength?
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, foot strength. He goes, once your foot strength breaks down, everything breaks down. Your movement breaks down, your power breaks down, your ability to get out of the way of things, the ability to close the distance.
Yeah.
More on the grip strength.
What is his? What did he get?
160.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I got more than him.
Yeah, he just did it really hard too.
That's crazy. But that makes sense. I'm 200 pounds, right?
But it's a chain, and grip is a part of the functional hand chain.
Right.
But
it's clearly he's way stronger than me with rows.
The interesting thing with grip is grip is only a small part of control. Oh, this guy, what's that guy's name? He's actually the best. Andra, right?
What did he get?
He's actually the best climber in the world right now.
161. Same thing.
Yeah, I
Okay,
saw.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis got 218. Derek Lewis, the guy who fights in the UFC, and he did it casually.
Yeah.
Derek's got giant paws, like catcher's mitt paws.
Yeah.
And he pulled 218. He got higher than anybody. And it didn't even look like he was trying.
The guy I just arm wrestled, I think, had the world record for some time. Vitaly Leletin.
And what was that?
I don't know what the number is, but I know he had the world record. Vitaly Leletin. So I'm actually not big on grip. I'm not.
Really?
I'm not. But most people are.
There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. Jamie, pull him up. His name is Michael Eckert. And
351.
boom!
Is that Vitaly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So listen. So mine is probably like 70 pounds, but I beat him.
Wait a minute. You don't.
No. It's terrible.
No.
I'm crippled.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm telling you.
There's no way.
I'm such a
I
disappointment.
squeeze stronger
Yeah,
than
you do.
That's not
No,
possible.
you probably do.
That is literally not possible.
I'm telling
Look
you.
at the size of this guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'9". Like he's about 3. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yeah.
154 kilograms is so bananas.
Yeah.
That's so strong. You can only do 70. That doesn't make any sense.
When I was younger, I could do like 8 or 9 reps of the number 3 Captains of Crush. So
wow.
I could
have
do
this sucker here on the table.
What is it? Yeah,
I don't know what this is. You tell me. Squeeze it. Tell me what
oh
that is.
God. 200 pounds. So this isn't a Captain of Crush. This is a.
I think it is. It's not?
No, I bought those. They just have a number on the
Can't
bottom.
do it, Joe. I can't do
can't
it.
do
I can't
that?
do it.
Come
One
on.
and a
No,
half
I'm-
to
I'm-
2.5.
I do that all day long.
Man, you should come and arm wrestle with us.
No, I could
That
beat
could
people
be-
who suck.
Grip is interesting. Okay, grip is a part of control, but so much of the control through your hand has to do with the ability to control the angles. You know, can you control this way, this way, this way, this way? You know, can you spin? You know, the grip is like the final inflection point. It's the final piece to add.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that it's not everything. It's a thing that I've been obsessed with lately because I'm not strong at it.
Grip's beautiful.
So this 162 kilograms.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And
So
I
find this guy Michael Eckert on Instagram. He's a guy that I follow, and he has all these grip strength tutorials. He's a Marine, and I guess that's him. And he can do 220, and he doesn't look like a very big guy either, but he does like crazy one-arm pull-ups, and he has massive forearms. But like, look at his thing right there.
This thing? I don't see the...
There's a thing below it. You see numbers. There it is. Oh, so this is what he's lifting. He's doing this
Oh, wow.
for chin-ups. But he has the grip strength thing. The really good one is the one that has knurled metal. It has very little play in it, and so you get a real accurate. He said it's the most accurate one of all of them. Gold, that one right there. See what it says 119? So I think that's 119 kilograms.
Hand is
So what do you
beautiful.
get?
Yeah.
What is that? 262. So he could do 262, and he's not a very big guy. So he does 100 pounds more than me, and he's not a big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're looking at him, but he does crazy like chin up stuff. 256. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So it's Michael Eckert, Eckert.
Yeah.
No, Eckert.
That's Michael, yeah.
Eckert. Eckert. So it's Michael Eckert _fit on Instagram. And this guy's turned me on to a bunch of stuff, told me stuff to get and what to work out with. But I'm blown away because I look at him and I go, well, you're not that big. That's what's crazy. Like, you look at his forearms are obviously very big, and very strong, but he's not like this massive guy. Like, who's that giant Russian cat?
Smaev.
Yeah. Boy. That
He's something real
that
special.
If that guy pulled 262, I go, okay, that makes sense. But I look at Michael and I'm like, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but he does so much grip stuff.
Yeah, we're praying for Smaev to come into the sport.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking freak.
Freakiest. Not just freak, freaky-est.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is he alive? Like, You gotta think, there's not a lot of time on that hourglass.
Live hard, die fast.
Yeah. I mean, he's pushing. There he is.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, all these strengths for our sport, they all add together. And,
Look at his hands. Look at his fucking hands. They don't even look real.
Oh,
he's open about all the sauce that he's on. He's on everything. I mean, who was in here that was explaining how much growth hormone he takes?
I heard he debunked that.
Oh, really?
I saw a video where he said it wasn't true. But I have no idea.
That he wasn't taking that much.
Yeah, I mean,
someone was saying he was taking
over
like
100 or something.
Some crazy thing, like 10 units of growth a day.
No, I heard it was 100.
100 units?
Yeah, I heard it was like... Yeah.
Well, that doesn't even make
right.
That seems like you would just grow. You would just become a giant. Like, that's like a pituitary disorder, right?
Yeah, more than.
Right, because that's what you're getting.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, clearly he's done a bunch of stuff, though. I mean, if you see him when he was younger, he looked like a normal athlete.
I never saw him normal. I mean, I've been following him for probably like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the first time I saw him, he was doing chin-ups with like 250 pounds strapped to him. You know, I think that's the first time I saw him. He's not normal.
Yeah, look at this fucking size. Yeah. So it's the left size. What's the left? When he's 17?
Yeah, I mean, he was. That's not a normal 17-year-old.
No, clearly.
Yeah,
he's pretty jacked. But that makes sense. Like, that guy on the left makes sense. Like, I've seen guys like that before.
Yeah, but not at 17.
No, but go to that photo again. But the guy on the right, he looks like the Incredible Hulk. Like, he looks like a superhero. Like, it doesn't look like a real human being. Like, the size of his forearms, the size of his biceps, that doesn't look like a regular human being. It looks like a complete freak of nature or science.
And he's training for arm wrestling.
I can only imagine.
So he's, like, if you follow his Insta or whatever, he's doing the arm wrestling lifts, like the pronation, and his lifting is already at a level of, like, world
Go to
champion.
his Instagram, please.
His Instagram got taken down, so it's like some new...
What?
Yeah.
That's right. He didn't have it to look last.
Why did it get taken down?
I don't know. But I heard it was taken down, but he does have a new one, whether it's his or it's a fan one. I know, I just saw it yesterday.
Why would they take down his Instagram?
Yeah, the only one I could find is
I don't know.
It's like Smayev official, and it's 27 weeks ago. There was a tag, and that's all that.
But no, I know because I saw it like yesterday.
Oh, so it's gone. The page is gone.
There's some fan page where he's doing pronation lifts.
What the fuck? What is wrong? Why would they take this guy's Instagram down?
Because he's inspiring people to turn into monsters.
Do you think that's what it is?
I don't know. This is what I'm talking about. See, now this is a much more normal, like for arm wrestling, this is actually more functional than anything through the grip, I think.
So this is all pronation.
That's pronation.
Turning the wrist, lifting insane weight.
Yeah. And just based off of that information that I see there, I already know.
Click on that one that you got your, fucking size of this guy.
Yeah.
That is so crazy. Explosive jumps.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about him is he's not competing in anything.
Right.
But I think that this is a guy who's just going to show up, whether it's in anything. And he gets to pick. And he's probably going to show up at like a world level.
Like anything like what? Besides
I'd say anything, whether powerlifting,
right,
strongman. I'd be terrified if he even got to like blue belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh my God.
You know? Like, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? How much does he weigh?
Like 340, 350.
340 in preposterous strength. Like,
yeah.
Strength, Mark Coleman always used to say that strength is a skill. And there's something to that, because if you are that strong, there's only so much you could do with that guy's body.
Yeah.
Especially if he developed actual skills, an understanding of leverage, positions.
Even just the base movement patterns that are really applicable.
352 lean.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
He was supposed to pull, there was a proposal for him to pull one of our guys called Leonidas Arcona.
What a great name.
Yeah. It's a German guy. He just competed against Brian Shaw like 6 weeks ago. He beat Brian.
What?
Yeah.
Someone beat Brian Shaw in an arm wrestling match?
Leonidas, young German champion. They competed in Germany. It was a great fight.
How big is Leonidas?
Leonidas is pretty awesome. Okay, Leonidas.
This is Leonidas and Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is crazy.
Yeah. right? And nobody's got a stronger grip than Brian either. Brian's grip is completely wild. But.
Seeing someone beat Brian Shaw in anything physical seems ridiculous. It doesn't even make sense. How much does this guy weigh?
He's like 285 when he's in good shape. But again, stupid strength. He's like a bodybuilder / arm wrestler. He's not.
A picture of me reacting.
Yeah, he's been in the sport like.
Oh my God, he's gonna curl a dude.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy strength.
Oh my God, he's massive.
Massive.
I just can't believe that he beat Brian Shaw. That is nuts.
And that's where skill comes in.
Well, because Brian Shaw is 100 pounds heavier than him.
Yeah, but it's levels, you know? Like
right.
And that's the thing, like arm wrestling has enough technique to it. It's not just how strong you are. You can look at me, okay? I'm not on any of these guys' levels. They're all stronger than me. But I'm the number 2 in the world in the open division. Everybody in the top 50 is stronger than me, you know? But there's a high degree. That's a great picture.
Wow, that is crazy. The size difference is so massive.
But I'll tell you, Brian probably has a higher potential than Leonidas.
Right.
Brian's been arm wrestling less than 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
And Leonidas been arm wrestling
5.
Okay.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of technique to it.
There's a ton of technique.
And a lot of just repetition, understanding the positions, where to go, what to do, how to hold. Yeah.
Miniature martial art.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that are not that, like Marcelo Garcia, for instance, not a physically imposing guy, has the craziest squeeze.
Right.
Like there's something about a squeeze. Like learning a position over and over and over again, fine-tuning it. That's what's interesting about power in general. It's like the repetition of movement creates more power.
Yeah.
And some of it is genetic, but some of it is also just fine-tuning that motion to just this like perfect chain of energy from the floor to the strike.
And it's 2 of us, you know, and it's that interaction. Right. It's what you're doing, what I'm doing.
And the more you're doing it, the more you understand what to do and when to do it and what's happening and how to counter it and when to push and when to pull, when to hit the gas.
And somebody's leading the dance and someone's following.
Right.
And the efficiency just changes very quickly. And before you know it, you're gassed out.
I'm sure you're aware of that guy in Australia, that Tom Haviland.
Tom Haviland. Yeah,
that's another one.
He's another one.
That's another one.
Right.
Who's doing this stuff in his backyard with a fucking shirt on and jeans and work boots.
Yeah.
And all the images, most of them, are just his back.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's just
he's another one. He's another one of these strength giants that lives out there that everybody kind of wants to pull in. I message Tom every once in a while.
Look at
like,
this guy.
Like, dude, when are you coming in arm wrestling? When are you coming in?
And what did he say?
Yeah, I'm optimistic.
What, is he interested?
I think so.
Well, he's also crazy lean too, which is really weird.
He's a strange character.
Oh, the strangest, because like this is most of his images are his back.
Yeah.
Which I don't understand why he's doing that.
Well, I had the theory that he was an SF guy. You know, I had the theory that he belongs to some organization that requires him to be discreet.
But there are photos of him.
Yeah, not many.
There's plenty where you can see his face.
Yes, but he doesn't go around broadcasting it too much, does he? I don't know. Look, I don't know what he is. I've asked, and guys say he's not. I don't know what the deal is, but for whatever reason, and he could, right? This is a guy who could probably again go to any one of the strength disciplines and compete happily.
Right.
Yeah,
because he's almost 400 pounds. He's 6'8".
Yeah,
and fucking shredded. See if you can find some of the images. There are images on this page of him with his shirt off doing stuff where he's like walking with, you know, doing like farmer carries. So there's some images of him with his shirt off.
Yeah,
like there he is.
Yeah. He's a Brian Shaw type. He's a Smaev type. You know, just where the baseline level of strength,
but looks more athletic than those guys. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's not as massive. He's massive, but he looks massive in a more mobile way. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, but you know, Brian Shaw won strongman, and like there's a lot of athleticism in strongman.
Oh, for sure. I'm not saying there's not. I mean, but Brian Shaw looks like an ape. He looks like a giant ape, whereas this guy looks like a super athlete.
He does.
You know, he looks like that image of him with his shirt off on the far right. Like he's shredded.
Yeah.
It looks different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it seems like he's just working on his strength. He's just like constantly.
Yeah.
Look at his fucking forearm muscles. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck is going on with the top of the forearm where it meets the bicep? What the fuck is that?
Tom, if you're watching this, come to East versus West, buddy. We love you. We love you.
Has he ever done anything?
Yeah.
Any arm wrestling stuff?
Yeah, I know he has because so down in Australia, the president there, Phil Rasmussen, he's good friends with him. And I know that they're arm wrestling a little bit, but yeah, there's something with him where he doesn't want to kind of show up. I don't know what it is with some of these people where they have this amazing ability, but they don't really pop. Do you know who Eric Spoto is?
No.
Eric Spato's a guy out of Vegas, former number 1 in the world bench guy. Okay, like he broke the world record for bench. Okay, but he didn't go to a powerlifting meet until he could break the record. He didn't even show up. He just showed up and he beat the world record. He was doing the world record in his basement.
Wow.
And everybody's like, Eric, why don't you go and make it legit? But these guys exist out there. These guys in their basements or wherever they're living, and they for whatever reason they don't show up until they're the best. Yeah, Eric, this guy. Yeah, and he's an amazing arm wrestler too. Same theory though, like it was hard to get him into competition, but I personally know that he's like one of the strongest arm wrestlers, but he doesn't compete. Yeah. Yeah, strength's amazing, man. It's fun to chase strength.
It's not everything in your sport though, which is interesting.
Yeah, strength combat. So we're a combat sport that relies heavily on strength. Yeah.
It's interesting you consider it a combat sport.
It's 100% combat sport.
Why so? Because it's not applicable to real fighting. So why do you call it a combat sport?
I mean, real fighting is hard to define anyways.
Is it?
Well, there's levels. There's levels of real fighting. I mean, I love UFC. It's cool, but we invented guns long ago,
Of course, but that's not a sport. I mean, it is a sport in terms of like being able to shoot accurately and stuff like that, but you're using an external device. You're using a weapon.
Right.
With your physical body, combat sports, why would you consider arm wrestling to be a combat sport?
Well, because it's between two people, and there's so much interplay, and there's not the rigidity of a lot of sports that measure strength. Okay, it's very much adjustment, adaptation, decision making, a lot of games, a lot of technique, a lot of adaptation. You can be super strong, but if you can't adapt, if you can't think, if you can't speak, if you can't play,
right?
Yeah, you're
gonna.
But
in that sense, do you consider football a combat sport?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's two sides, and you're fighting.
Yeah.
It's metaphor. Okay.
Right.
Look at all this stuff. I love the UFC, but I consider it a combat sport.
Well, it definitely is a combat sport.
100%, probably one of the best examples of. But
the primary example.
If I was going to put together the ultimate we were going to take out like if we were going to go to war against another nation or whatever, yeah, for sure I'm looking at UFC guys. For sure I'm looking at football guys. Looking at whoever can get the job done, and there's a lot of pieces to that.
Well, that's different. I mean, look, if they're going to war with just bodies, only using your body, that's one thing. But, obviously with war, weapons rule above all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're at these days. So.
Well, now we're with thumbs because now it's basically drones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get to a point soon where human beings are going to be irrelevant. So
when it comes to sport, arm wrestling falls into that combat sector, where two people are engaging in a fight, a metaphorical fight against each other.
I get it.
Yeah. You'll I mean, if it wasn't a combat sport, then the stronger guy would normally win, and they normally does. But as soon as if I could get a guy who's been practicing arm wrestling for like 4 or 5 years, they'll beat anybody that's not practicing. It's the same thing as like a jiu-jitsu guy. If you give a jiu-jitsu guy like 4 or 5 years on the mat, and you get Brian Shaw or like some giant come in, who's going to win?
It really depends. I could teach Brian Shaw a few things real quick.
Of course
quick,
you could.
He could strangle pretty much anybody.
And Brian Shaw is an extreme example.
Yeah, okay. But someone your size, yeah, it's like size to size. The size is commensurate. Yeah, the person who's training.
Yeah.
They're going to win every time. And small people dominate big people all the time.
Right. Because it's that technical, it's that skill-based.
It's also repetition, understanding the positions, understanding mistakes, knowing where to be and what to do and how to flow, how to move with someone so you're not just going strength for strength against them, you're flowing with them.
I think of it as a combat sport as well because I try and make it that way.
Right. Yeah. Well, you definitely do, and you definitely make it like psychologically.
I try. Yeah, I try and pull all that stuff in.
But you have an extensive military experience too. Like you started off like what is the Canadian version of what branch of the military you were in?
I was with a unit called JTF2 for 16 out of my 20 years. Yeah. It was great. I'd still be there if I could, really, but it got too complicated and I had to leave. But
how so? What do you mean?
It was, I don't want to say it was entirely one thing or another, but it really probably had a lot to do with arm wrestling and the visibility of arm wrestling. Like I've been arm wrestling my whole life, but it was 19, I think. Not 19. It was 2014, and we were on ESPN at the time. And up to that point, I was not declared military in the public eye. Like I was a farmer as far as everybody was concerned. I tried to play the operational security as well as I could. And, I was an active JTF2 member. But there were a lot of concerns about the growth of arm wrestling for me and my, exposure. And, part of being an operator is, you have to be anonymous. You get on an airplane, you can't have people taking pictures of you and,
oh, right.
Right. So arm wrestling, because of where I was, and it was on ESPN, and going further, they're like, Devin, you have to choose. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been arm wrestling since I was a kid. So the long and short of that is they offered me a year off, no pay. I took it. I took the year off, and I was gathering apples and eating sardines and sending my kids to school with dried apples. And me and my wife were like, oh my God, are we crazy? Are we crazy?
Just so you try to make it in arm wrestling.
It was complicated. It was complicated.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd done like 7 tours, and it's weird when you do a lot of tours, things start to gray out a little bit. And
so?
Everything is about mission in life, right? Like everything. Like if you don't have a good mission, your life is going to fall to shit. And as soon as you start to question any kind of that, and you play in that realm long enough, most guys start to, at the beginning, you're just either so patriotic or just so down to, help your country or whatever, or the people around you, that you're undeterred. And I think that probably sometime around that point in my career, maybe I was struggling slightly, and that combined with them telling me that I wasn't able to do something that was like the only thing I did, when I left work, was kind of the thing that kind of make me take kind of a stand in my life that I was going to, follow sport instead of war. Sport's beautiful. Sport's very clearly building civilization. And war, the further you go in, it just gets to a level of murk where you're not sure. So, yeah. So
when you say you're not sure if you should be doing what you're doing. You're not sure if the mission should be happening.
Yeah, because I think most people join the military and stay in the military because they genuinely believe that they're benefiting mankind or civilization to some degree. It's a big part of it. Nobody's there for the money. Somebody at the beginning, some people are because we're broke, right? Yeah. But once you spend like 10 years, you're probably okay. And yeah, so it starts. You play enough in that world, and it starts to get confusing that you're not doing the right thing. So, and look, I loved my work. I thought it was great. I loved all the people I worked with. Some of the best people in the world. But yeah, it came to a point where there was some issues, you know, with OPSEC, not even in my career, but in others, and it kind of trickled down into unit policy, and they shut down everybody's extracurricular. And yeah, they're like, Devin, you can't arm wrestle anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a current world champion. Like I am currently the open world champion, and you're telling me I can't do it. So I was like, yeah, we're going to have to come up with some other solution. They're like, yeah, okay, years leave without pay. Here's your final offer. So we took it. And my wife and I were like, oh my God. So yeah, so I went from making money, and we didn't have money, you know.
But you were getting by.
Yeah, getting by. But it meant that on that year, I like had to win. It was no longer like my hobby. It was like, if I don't win, like my kids are like not, I'm going to have to sell the house, or like I'm going to have to do a gamble. It worked out. Yeah.
What was that stress like?
Dude, it was so wild.
How old were you at the time?
It was, okay, that was 2014, so I'd be 39.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're already older as an athlete.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was totally trippy. I remember being so stressed out. It was a WAL finals. Okay, I was in the 225-pound division. $20,000 for first place. Right hand, left hand, and I had a great sponsor. Okay, they were matching my pay, so anything I won, they doubled it, and they were doing some other stuff too. So, but if I lost, I got nothing. Ooh. Right. So I'm in the back. I'm in the back in the warm-up area, and I'm breathing. I'm getting ready. I'm going against this guy Ron Bath in the finals, and longtime mentor of mine, guys like my older brother, this guy Mike Gould, comes over to me. He's like, Devin. He's like, you used to run the practice when you were 18. He's like, you're just here because you love it. Don't worry about it. Just go and have fun. And I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. And I went out and I just had fun and worked out. But yeah, so I ended up doing my year's leave without pay. As soon as I was taking my leave, they're like, we want you to declare. Like, we want you to tell people that you're special forces now. So I went from...
Why did they want you to do that?
Because they pushed me into recruiting. Yeah. So when I got back, I tried again. I think they'd already made up their mind. When I got back, I'm like, yeah, can I have my old job back? And they're like, you're going to keep arm wrestling? And I'm like, well, you know. And they're like, okay, you're going to recruiting. And so at that point, I was on my 19th year. Okay. And you only, in the Canadian Forces at that time, now I think you need 25, but 20 years continuous service and you get like a base pension. So I did my 19th to 20th year. I went around Canada and I told people how great the JTF was. And that was it. That was my career. Done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, now full-time arm wrestler for the last 10 years. Yeah.
What a jump at 39.
Yeah.
That had to be so fucking nerve-wracking.
It was... I just, you know, I thought it was very selfish of me, you know. I thought that I was being very irresponsible. I thought, you know, because I really believed in soldiering, I did. And, you know, to leave it, you know, made me question very much whether I was doing the right thing with my life. And then on a family level, I was like, am I being irresponsible chasing this, you know, thing that I love to do, and it's costing my kids, you know, their university education. It's costing my kids, you know. But yeah, we believed in it. We went for it, and it's all worked out. It's all worked out. I mean, it's been a second life for me. I still love all the guys I work with. Some of them are still working. My God. Guys do like 30-year careers in the Special Forces. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, a lot of the guys that I went through with, they're now in senior positions, and I bump into them every once in a while. And I just tell them how much I love them and how great they are. And yeah, I live a simple life now. It's beautiful, you know. Like before, life was very complicated. Going on tours, you know, Special Forces life is super complex. You know, it's difficult to balance. How my wife and I made it through that, I have no idea. But we did. But yeah, now I'm at home every day. I wake up unless I'm on, you know, going to some arm wrestling tournament. It's beautiful.
Well, I got to think that the discipline that came from that life transferred over to the discipline of becoming a great arm wrestler.
I think I'm still learning today from my career. I'm still digesting some of the greatest days and some of the stuff that I did. I'm still integrating it into my life. Yeah, it's a great teacher.
Well, you can't fail.
No, you can't.
It's just like
you can't.
The ultimate consequences, the ultimate stakes.
Yeah. It's beautiful. I love the concept of soldiering. I think I have it as one of the highest things that you can do. Like, there's being a mother and there's being a fighter, you know. And I personally have always believed that one of the highest orders of fighters are the guys in the military, you know, the SF guys. Sure. Like, it's pretty awesome. It's I try and take all those lessons and bring them into the sport, and I try to I try and let that chapter of my life, you know, feed and inspire me today.
Do you talk much about your tours?
I don't a lot. It's not that you know, anything matters at this point. I mean, it's all in the past, and you know, there's nothing that I could really say now that influences too much. But I don't make it part of my general promotion too much. But everybody knows that I was, you know. It's a wild time in my life, you know. It's a huge chapter, you know, the military stuff, the tours that I did. You know, we did a lot of work in Afghanistan. So, you know, the highlight of my career is working in Kandahar, you know, working with the American forces, working with the Indian forces. You know, JTF does like counterterrorism, so we're doing hits at night, you know, going out and various kinds, but. Yeah, it was always funny to me. Because people didn't know I was, you know, widely. I mean, oh, Devin's scared to come to this tournament, you know. And I was like, motherfucker, I am in a goddamn war right now. I am not scared to go to Nemiroff Cup, you know. But yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it was.
That must have been hilarious.
It was so funny for me. I'm like, you have no idea how scared I am right now. What I'm doing, you know. War is a wild thing, you know. The degree that it's psychologically affected me is it's been neat, you know. I think that a lot of who I am was shaped by combat, you know, by the fear and the lacking that I had, like the not being enough to be everything I could be in combat, shaped me so much, you know. You know, when you go on a tour, and there's different people, there's different dudes, okay? I know some dudes who really don't get scared. They really don't. Like, they're like so down for it. Like, they can't wait to go on the next mission, you know? And I was kind of the guy who was like completely scared shitless, but I'd go anyways, you know? And what I kind of learned to do, which I have a great value in, is kind of the separation of myself. You know, I am a very different person day to day than when I compete or when I, for example, went and actually did the job. You know, I would completely transform my character. And this is something that I learned. The first tour was hard. You know, you're a regular dude with a regular brain and a regular mindset doing this terrifying thing. And then, you know, you come back and you know, you've seen a lot of shit and you got PTSD, you wake up and your heart's going, and it's like an injury. And you can let an injury kill you, or you can heal and develop some kind of resilience to it. And I think that I, to some degree, did that by learning how to become a different person. People call it a switch, you know, where you like all your values, the person that you are is different. You're not the same person when you're out in the field than you are when you're back on base. And I created a persona that loved it, that looked forward to it, that lusted for it. because that's what you need to be to actually perform properly.
When you say you created a persona,
yeah,
what was the steps? Like, how did you do that?
Well, I think that one of the things is to really wrap your mind. I think the first step is to wrap your mind about the worst possible outcomes with any fear. And I don't know if a psychologist is going to tell you to do this, but like, for example, like I'll take it a step back and we'll talk about jumping. Okay. I don't like to jump at airplanes. Okay. Didn't really, it's kind of scary. So I had a certain fear there. Okay. Now I got over it. I've got hundreds of jumps. But what I did was I used to watch parachute fails over and over and over and over and over. And I just kind of desensitized myself to it and kind of became okay with it. And I think to a certain degree, I did the same thing with the overall concept of worst case scenario with the war. Kind of accepted that I'm going to die. It's okay. I believe in the cause, believe in the mission. It's okay. So now I have to solve how do I get to the best performance state to do that? And you have to love what you do. You got to love what you do. So you have to find a way to love the violence. You have to find a way to love the aggression. You have to find a way to, and I think it's inside all of us. I think that the person that you are is, who you've kind of created for a certain circumstance. But the truth is you might act a little bit different when you're sitting at the table with your mother than when you're sitting at the table with your best friend to when you're going out and doing a hit on the front lines, And it's a different psychology that's going to perform best, in each of those. And it's learning that you are not necessarily one thing. You are whatever you want to be, and you can change that. You can become that. And the more time that you spend as that role, the more you roll it out, the more you build it out, the more you're comfortable with it, the more you might even look forward to doing it again. I certainly rolled that psychology into my arm wrestling.
What's interesting you say, I don't know if a psychologist would tell you to do that. I don't think a psychologist would have the ability to understand what that experience even is. There's one thing about theory and about books and about learning in school. There's a giant difference between that and application in a real world scenario where you might lose your life and you have to take a life. I don't think there's a psychologist in the world that could explain that. That's why I'm always very hesitant about even sports psychologists or fight psychologists that like teach people how to prepare for fighting. Like, you could probably give a fighter some tools, but for you to actually tell them what needs to be done, if you're not doing that, how can you? It's just theory.
Theory.
Yeah, and there's a giant difference between theory and application, where you are trying to keep your fucking brain together in the craziest thing a human being can do.
Yeah.
Parachute down and gun people down. Like, what is fucking crazier on earth than that? I'd say nothing.
Well, look, I used to have that attitude as well, but I've changed my attitude when it comes to that. I think that it's about excellence and mastery. I think that that's what life is about. And if you're in the soldiering realm, that's excellence and mastery in that field. But I think wherever you are, if you're a businessman, if you're an artist, if you're a farmer, there's levels. You can be a farmer that has weeds and kind of doesn't get up at the crack of dawn or whatever, and then you can be a completely psychotic farmer that does. And I think that you're on that level.
Yeah,
you're on that level of mastery. And I think that is what life is really about, is finding that thing that you're comfortable doing and becoming a master at it.
Yeah.
And now I am the Bonnie Blue of arm wrestling. Come on. I get the first base with everybody.
I got to ask you about this, and this is a silly thing to ask you because you said Kandahar.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the legend of the Kandahar giant?
Of course.
Yeah. What did you hear? When did you hear?
Well, I've seen. Okay. There's some freaks out there, man. There's some freaks. So yeah, I mean, I've seen the YouTube video. I've heard about it from other people, but legit. Okay. Hard for me because I was far away. Okay, I was probably about 200 meters away. We were doing a mobility exercise. Okay, mobility, I hate mobility. Okay, mobility was my least favorite op. Mobility, basically, you get in a bunch of trucks and you kind of roll out and you kind of look for a fight. Okay, so we were doing like a 2-week mobility in this region, kind of north of the Panjway. I don't remember exactly what it was called. It was this surrounded by mountains, this big valley, and we were rolling around, and so there was a village that we were going to check out, and I'm like a gunner, okay, so I don't know everything that's going on. I'm a dude on a machine gun, okay, but I can see everything that's happening. I kind of know what we're doing, but I know that there's a meeting. And what they have is they have these warlords. It's not the same kind of political system or anything that we have in like North America. Kind of the baddest dude in the region becomes in charge. Okay. So we were meeting with one of the local warlords. And so the town was like 500 meters away. They drove out from the town about 500 meters, and we had our trucks about 200 meters from the meeting point. Our officer and a couple dudes went forward, and we're looking. This guy, I mean, he was maybe twice as big. He was huge. He was a massive dude.
Like how big?
I think he was 8 feet. I think he was 8 foot something. And it's embarrassing. It's like Devin, you're crazy. He's big.
And he was 200 meters away.
He's about 200 meters away, but I can see the guys. We got optics. Our officer was probably somewhere between at the bottom of his chest. Great big Afghan dude, big beard, big dude, and his lackeys around him were normal size. Great big warlord. So they're out there. There's big people. There's
8 feet is nuts.
I have personally seen people who were probably over 8 feet.
What?
Yeah.
In Afghanistan?
No. I saw these guys up northern Canada, Cree. I was up in Ojibugamo, okay, this Cree village. I remember walking up. I'm there for arm wrestling. We're having an arm wrestling tournament, and I'm looking up. We're walking up the stairs in this hockey arena, and this dude, I'm like, that's a really big dude. And by the time I got there, I was about, and I'm like 6'5", I was about at his nipple. Okay.
What?
Yeah, big hands. Big, long hands. Like out of the Goonies, like misshapen face. And I'm like, my God. I'm like, how big are you? He's like, just laughed at me. And he's like, my dad's 8'11". He's like,
what?
Yeah, big.
My dad's 8'11".
I'm telling you, there's big people. And people don't know about them. Guinness doesn't know about them. They live up in the woods. There's big people out there. And not
what
all
is
of
that
them.
guy, Jamie?
From that region, apparently. I don't know how to say that. Edouard Beaupre.
So there's just giants that live in that region?
Yeah.
8'3".
The Cree are very big people. And the thing is when they get to eat what they're supposed to eat, the problem is so many of them eat junk now, right? Because they grow up on the...
pounds maybe? Or 367, sorry.
8'2.5", 367 pounds. Age 33. Whoa.
Yeah, I forget the name of these brothers, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah, there's some weird genetics out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to try and swab them. I'll give it to Ryan before you know it.
But so this guy in Afghanistan, was this one isolated incident?
I saw one. Yeah, I just saw the one.
And he had to be 8 feet tall.
He is big. He's big. Yeah, he's big human being. Far out of the standard. Yeah, and he was a warlord.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they're big. They're big people out there.
And so the Kandahar giant story, the guy is supposed to be even bigger than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard it.
Do you believe it?
I do. Yeah, I do. There's freaks out there. There are.
But this guy supposedly had like 6 fingers and 6 toes.
Yeah. I believe that stuff. I think that we get so used to normal people, and every once in a while there's a weirdo.
And these people are not being studied. There's no one there. Like that region of the country is extremely remote.
Extremely. Like they don't. It's like going back to like the 15th century. Like there's motorcycles and some people have gas. I mean, but they don't have electricity. There's not even really roads. Yeah.
And there was this one guy who was a warlord that was 8 feet tall.
I saw him.
You saw him?
I saw him. Yeah. From a distance. But, I mean, there's no way he was any shorter. Like, he was huge. He was a massive... And he was broad across the shoulders, too. He was probably twice as broad. Massive, massive human. Yeah.
What was that like, just seeing something like that?
It's wild, man. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah. It was shocking, but it's neat how they structure their leadership. That's the guy in charge.
The most massive guy,
I hope he was a nice guy.
Probably wasn't.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed reasonable. Like, we didn't get in the fight. Right. Like, there was no fight there. Wow. So we worked it out, whatever it was. But yeah, there are anomalies, and it's neat. And it's kind of cool that he made it to a leadership position. So he must have been a smart guy too, and he must have been a good guy, because I don't think a dick could have been in charge.
So did you hear of that story, the Kandahar Giant story? So supposedly what happened is it's American military guys encountered this guy in the mountains.
Yeah. That
was just absolutely enormous. They said he was like 12 feet tall.
Yeah. Well, what happened with the Nephilim?
Right. That's the thing. Well, that was the thing is, like, supposedly they had 6 fingers and 6 toes as well.
Look, I believe that things come to visit, and sometimes things get left behind, and who knows? There's a good chance that he's maybe just a little bit closer to all that, or somehow a recessive and a recessive somehow found their ways together, and there you go.
And somehow there's a surviving population of these people still in the world that are undiscovered.
It's a beautiful part of the world, that region. Perfect climate, super fertile. Like, if there was nothing, what a beautiful place to start life. Afghanistan is a beautiful country, so rich for agriculture. The climate is perfect, with the mountains and the rivers, the seasons. It's tough to beat. I would understand why people would fight so hard to have that territory. And, if you were a giant, 12 feet tall, and you could live anywhere you wanted, in a valley where the rivers fed your land, I could pick there. Yeah.
Did you hear that story when you were over there?
That story's famous. Yeah. And I asked around. I've never met anybody who was involved in that op. I haven't. But
it seems like a story that has something to it, because there's too many people telling that story. There's only one story like that.
There are a lot of stories.
There's more stories like that?
There are.
I mean, I should say there's only one story like that online that people repeat over and over again. This one encounter.
There are fascinating stories out there. Some that I'm closer to.
Like what?
Probably the most interesting story that I'm in any way kind of close to is from that region of the world. And this is a whole nother can of worms, but it's so weird. It's demonic possession. We had a guy, I worked with him very closely for a super smart guy, great guy, awesome dude, awesome soldier. And yeah, I mean, he got possessed by a demon. He started speaking in tongues. He knew everything about everybody. He could speak different languages. He knew everything about everybody's life. He knew all their sins. He knew all the sins people did, even from their childhood.
What?
He got taken to the medical system before they knew it. He was out of the medical system, and he was with the padre, the priest that comes along on some military missions. They did what do you call that when you cleanse a demon from what do you call
exorcism?
It? They did an exorcism. They sent him back to Canada. He's now watched by the church. He has to go and check in with the church every week. I don't know what to tell you, Joe. There's a lot I don't know, but yeah. And the crazy thing is the priest who did the exorcism said he knew the demon. He'd already he'd already done the exorcism like 3 or 4 times
on different people.
Yeah, that demon was like popping in and out of guys. Yeah. So look, Joe, I don't know what's going on in the world. I'm an arm wrestler. Okay.
But this guy knew things about you?
No, I wasn't on the tour, but the unit's very small. Okay. All the guys who were there, I have very close personal relationships with, and there's no reason for me not to trust them. And this is and the guy who had it done to him, I'm very close with. Like, he was my stall partner. Okay. And I see him all
when
the
you
time.
say had it done to the guy who was possessed.
Yes.
You knew him.
I know him very well.
And what did he say about it?
Yeah, he doesn't like it very much. Yeah. It scared him a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Does he recall being able to speak different languages?
Yeah, he can remember it. Yeah, he can remember.
But he can't speak those languages anymore.
No, it was like he was aware of everything happening, but he was a visitor. He was like there for the ride.
Whoa.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently when it started, he was freezing. He was locking up. And then he was locking, and then he started speaking in tongues, and then he was like fully, Joe, it's weird stuff out there, man. There's a lot of things that we don't understand, right? And yeah, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't me, but I trust the story because I know the people. I know them very. I could hook you up with them. You want to talk to them? Tell you.
I'm nervous.
Tell you all about it.
I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how long was he possessed for?
He was possessed, I think, for a couple of weeks. Maybe like a week or 10 days. Something like that. Wasn't super long. But he was all messed up afterwards. He was done working after that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
He retired?
Medical.
Wow.
Yep.
But psychologically, like, it wasn't like he had a schizophrenic break. So whatever it was, he came back from.
I don't know that schizophrenia can explain the languages.
No.
I don't know that.
No, I don't think it can. But what I'm saying is they didn't diagnose him as having.
No, the diagnosis was he had to go to church.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Right? Isn't that wild?
That's so crazy.
That's one of the craziest ones that I've seen personally.
Have you heard of other experiences like that where people have been possessed?
That's it.
Well, you would think that if a demon was going to visit someone, war would be the place to visit them.
And that's an ancient. That was in Iraq. That was in Erbil. Wow. Okay, and I mean that's an ancient part of the world.
Yeah. So,
whatever's like history is long, and misunderstood, and something's going on. Something's going on. I can't explain it. And I've kind of just been like, I'm kind of like, at this point in my life, I'm like, whatever. I know I don't know everything. I'm just gonna do wrist curls in my basement for next time. Yeah, he's awesome. Martin, if you're watching, come over. Let's party. Yeah. I love this guy.
Does he talk about it?
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit. I'm so curious about it.
Do you think he would come on here and tell a story?
Yep.
Really?
Sure. Of course he would. Of course he would.
I'm nervous. Are you nervous, Jamie?
Yeah. Martin, yeah, he's a cool dude.
Wow.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, great soldier. Yeah.
Whew. Brother, you've had a pretty wild life.
It's been great, really. Ton of fun. Happy to be here. Yeah, it's been good.
Well, I really enjoyed this conversation, man. I'm glad we did it.
Joe, thank you so much. And really, like, I feel like it's kind of closing the loop for something with my brother.
Yeah, well, we should tell everybody. I knew your brother before I met you online, and this is from your brother. Your brother made this candle, and this candle will now sit here. He is no longer with us, but the candle will remain.
Thank you so much for your time, Joe.
My pleasure, brother.
Anytime really you want to get into arm wrestling, no. Come on over. We'll get your grip strength working for you.
No, I'm good, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Wonderful.
And good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck beating that fucking giant dude.
I'm going to need it.
16 months?
16 months, man.
Maybe we'll talk to you before then. We'll
do
it again.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, brother. All right. Bye, everybody.
¿Qué cojones es esta mierda? Gente, yo quería niveles complicados, no esta mierda. Gente, bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo de Geometry Dash. En el día de hoy vamos a reaccionar a los niveles que me pida el chat. Ah, está aquí el chat. El chat, niveles míticos, legendarios, de los más guapos de la historia de Geometry Dash. Vamos a ver si el chat tiene buen gusto o no. Gente, me han pedido que reaccione primero a Ton 618. Este hasta me suena, lo conozco. Uno de los niveles más famosos de Geometry. De hecho, creo que hay por ahí un clip que me ponen a mí con cara de todo concentrado, como si estuviese pasándome el Ton 618. Y realmente me lo pasé, porque soy el mejor jugador de Geometry del mundo. Vamos a verlo. ¿En serio el Ton 618 no está verificado? ¿Nadie se ha pasado este nivel? ¿Es imposible? ¿Eso es verdad? Calla. Pero si yo me lo pasé, ¿eh? Esta música con este nivel de fondo mientras le estás haciendo el amor a tu señora debe ser el mejor polvo de tu vida, bro. Lo tengo que practicar eso, ¿eh? ¡Nueva fantasía desbloqueada! Creo que hago eso y mi novia me deja. Realmente, oye, realmente sí que es imposible, cabrón. ¿En serio nadie se lo ha pasado nunca? ¿Pero eso qué es? ¿Cómo se va a pasar eso a alguien? What? Vale, esta parte sí, easy, very easy. Joder. ¡Qué locura! Oye, ¿alguien sabe en cuánto está el récord? El mayor porcentaje que haya conseguido un humano en este nivel. ¡Qué locura, hermano! Sí que me creo ahora, después de verlo, que es imposible. ¡67%! ¿En serio? 6-7, bro. No, mira eso, mira eso. Es imposible, bro. Iba a una velocidad que te pasmas. Nada, imposible. ¿Y cojones? ¿Una waifu? ¿Y este nivel? Miku Miku. A ver. ¿Es de Doki Doki? ¿Esta es la música de Doki Doki? ¿Qué cojones es esta mierda? ¿Qué coño es esto? Oye, vosotros en vuestros ratos libres no os tocaréis con este tipo de cosas, ¿no? Es que soy un poco raro, ¿eh? ¡Ay! ¿Dónde va? ¡Ay, qué bonito! ¡Los dibujitos! Espérate, ¿a qué? Si esto es facilísimo, ¿no? Es muy chile, esto me lo pasaría hasta yo. ¿Por qué quieren que reaccione a esto? Gente, yo quería niveles complicados, no esta mierda. Vale, sí, caballeros. ¿Qué coño es esto? ¿Qué cojones? ¿Qué cojones? Bro, me han estafado, me han engañado. Vaya tremendo clickbait del inicio, ¿eh? Parecía chill. Pipo. Parece que está en un concierto de techno toda la noche bailando así. ¡Tum! ¡Qué locura! Mola. En verdad mola. Mola mucho. Encaja demasiado el ritmo de la música con el nivel. Mola. Por fin, chill de nuevo. ¡Hostia! ¡Me mareo! ¡Me mareo! ¡Ah! ¡Ataque epiléptico! Soy fotosensible. Para. Por fin, joder. La madre que me parió. Limbo. Ese también os mola, gente. Gente, ¿cómo se llaman las novias estas satánicas que van vestidas de negro? ¿Cómo se llaman? ¿Cómo era el nombre? No me sale ahora, tío. Gótica, eso. Es que parece que te echas una novia normalita y corriente, tranquilita, y luego te sale una gótica, bro. Luego tu novia es gótica y está loca y te hace un ritual ahí. No sé, me ha dado esa sensación. Señoras y señores, Limbo. Hostia, es una canción triste, ¿no? Muy triste. Ya no está tan triste. Ahora es de motivación. Hostia, qué guapa. Joder. Tío, pero ¿cómo vas a ver por dónde tienes que ir ahí, bro? ¿Cómo sabes por dónde tienes que ir exactamente si hay 20.000 colores? What the fuck? Joder. Ojo. Parte chill. Hasta la parte chill del nivel parece imposible, loco. ¡Buah! Memoria muscular, dicen en el chat, literalmente. Esto hay que descubrir primero por dónde es y memorizarlo, porque no tiene sentido. A simple vista no sabes qué coño hay que hacer, loco. Memoria muscular. Esta música me la ponían a mí en la discoteca cuando iba de joven. Remember, verano y summer in session. No. Flash. Hostia. ¡Guau! La rueda esta está guapísima. ¡Qué guapo! Es una puta fumada esto, ¿eh? Coño, déjame más ciegos y ver qué tal. Personas se han pasado esto en todo el mundo? ¿Muchos? Yo, sí, claro, estoy seguro que nadie del chat se lo ha pasado. Encima es un nivel largo, bastante largo. Joder. ¿Cuántas bolas? Parece que estoy en el parque de bolas. Oye, pero el final es muy fácil, me ha decepcionado, todo en línea recta, eso me lo pasa hasta yo en limbo, qué fácil. Qué fácil, bro, qué fácil. Qué sencillez, bro, se lo pasa hasta mi primito de 5 años, bro. Limbo. ¿Dónde vas? ¿Por qué te caes, bro? Uy, te has pinchado. Bonita decoración. Grief, vale, me lleváis pidiendo muchísimo el Grief desde hace un buen rato, gente. Este no lo hemos reaccionado, ¿no? ¡Hostias! Me gusta el color rojo pasión. ¡Dios! La cara del demonio. A ver. Miren la cara del demonio ahí. ¡Qué flow! ¡Hostia! Tiene un círculo satánico de eso, loco. Oh my god. Grief. El diseño me parece brutal, ¿eh? Te da una sensación macabra. Da hasta miedo este nivel, loco. ¿Eso era una cabra? ¿Era una maldita cabra ahí? Eso es una cabra loca, nene. Sí. Se viene. Rompe. Ojitos. ¡Oh! Es como de Halloween. Me da vibras de Halloween. ¡Hostia! He de deciros que este está siendo mi favorito, de los que hemos reaccionado. Me está gustando mucho. ¿No será que tengo al diablo dentro de mí? Por eso me gusta tanto. No paro de ver símbolos satánicos. ¡Qué miedo, cabrón! Había una cruz del revés. La música en este nivel es como más chill, pero macabra a la vez. Es como, no sé explicarlo, rollo tensión. Como película de terror que hay tensión. Bastante siniestro el nivel, Pinta turbio. Sí, como suspenso. Oye, me ha gustado. Me ha molado bastante. Hace falta poner aquí 80.000 cosas para fotosensibles y la música todo hostia, chun. Oye, espectacular. Mi favorito hasta ahora. Díganme otro. Society. ¡Ojo! ¿Es de waifus? Este es como más chill. Como que me relaja. Cambiado por completo la música. Ojo, tía, es turbio también, Hay personajes de miedo. Society. Madre mía, que me quedo tuerto. Es como entrar en la quinta dimensión después de un viaje astral. Fumadón, aquí te se ha fumado algo. Ay, qué mareo. Cállate, coño, deja escuchar. Entonces, ¿para qué mierda queréis que reaccione? ¿Tendré que decir algo? ¿O de qué sirve que ponga mi puto careto y me calle si ya te has escuchado esta puta canción 87 veces? Déjame, que me hace ilusión decir algo, coño. Cállate, bro. Ahora voy a hablar todo el rato, chúpala. Voy a cantar. ¿Qué ha pasado? ¿Se ha roto? ¡Se me ha roto el PC! ¿Qué cojones? ¿Qué cojones? ¿Hay cariñosas ahí o qué, bro? Un casino. Ah, la cariñosa está aquí. ¿Qué coño es esto? ¿Pero se ha acabado? ¿Sigue ahora? ¿O qué mierda es esto? Es como Japón, me da aires de Japón. Sociedad. ¿Continúa ahora? No, pero ¿es el mismo nivel o no? ¿A que es el mismo pero sin gráficos, sin decorar? ¿En serio? Pues tremenda mierda más cutre, bro, lo avanzo. ¿Para qué quiero ver yo esta mierda? Yo lo que quería era el diseño de verdad, coño. Pero es que para ver esta mierda me voy a jugar al Minecraft, bro. Ir a tomar por culo, cabrón. Este es legendario. Dicen que este es una leyenda, legendario. Bloodlust. La verdad que he escuchado el nombre alguna vez. Vamos a verlo. No, pero a este se le oye el ratón. ¡Métete el ratón en el orto, che! Este. ¡Vamos! Seguro que no hemos visto este. Me suena a algo, ¿eh? Me suena mucho la música, tío. Es como Bloodbath. Pero es parecido. Sí lo hemos visto, ¿no? Es un remake. Claro, pero es que no cambia casi nada, ¿no? Mola la música, cómo se pone ahí intensa. Y este tiene una extensión brutal, decís. Ojo, ha salido un demonio. Pero esto es satánico como el otro, es muy parecido al otro que hemos visto antes, ¿no? ¡Guau! ¡Dragón! ¡Ojo esos cuernos! Esa cabeza, Gigi. ¡Te secuestra! Este en 2018 era el más difícil de todos. Ya está llegando al final. ¡Ojo! Y te persigue aquí al lado. Claro, supongo que esto forma parte del remake, ¿no? El bicho este. ¡Ojo la luna! Blood Last. Está chulo, ¿eh? Mola, 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 mola. Astral Divinity. Extreme Demon. A ver. ¿Pero la skin lleva un calamar o qué? Ah, no, es como un bicho volador, un pájaro, no sé. Pero le persigue un dragón gigante. Dios, vaya boca, vaya dientes. Hostia, qué guapo. Astral Divinity, God Love. Oh, modo lila. Dios. Es como... La música es Skrillex, tipo así, ¿no? Tío, no me muerdas. Uma. Yo. Ojo. Me gusta el bicho ese que salta. ¡Fua! ¡Qué guapo el diseño de esto del fondo, tío! Parece un mandala. Un atrapasueños, más bien. Oye, me mola porque tiene muchos diseños diferentes. No es todo el rato lo mismo. Tiene variantes. ¡Ojo! ¡Yeah! ¡Puta! ¡Yeah, tu puta madre! ¡Yeah, más asustado! ¿Qué hace de repente un tío que no estaba hablando en toda la partida gritándome al final? ¡Vete a tomar por culo, tío! ¡Yes! Me alegra que hayas llegado al clímax, gilipollas. Nintendo, ojo, colaboración. Venga, va, vemos este y después de este el Frido, nos lo prometo. Vamos. ¡Ojo! ¡Mario Bros! ¿En serio el puto Mario? ¡Qué guapo! ¡Qué guay! Tío, se me ha petado el PC, no va. Ahora. A ver. ¡Oh! ¿En serio hay 50 artistas colaborando en un nivel de Geometry? ¡FIFA 20! ¡Hostia! Ese juego lo jugamos, no me acuerdo cómo se llamaba. Zelda, mi novia es súper fan de Zelda, bro, esto le encantaría. ¡Qué guapo! Chabacado, no sé, pero me suena. ¿Qué es ese dragón? Pero esto me quiere sonar también, what the fuck. ¿Qué era esa cara, tío? Me suena todo, pero a la vez no sé qué es. Era Cuphead, ¿verdad? Y esta planta... el comecocos se llama el Pac-Man también, es lo mismo, tío. Aquí en España le decimos el comecocos. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Qué pasa? Ya van a empezar con sus tonterías. Chúpenla, coño. También le decimos Pac-Man. ¿Qué pasa? Comecocos. ¡Los Simpson! ¿Cómo que los Simpson? ¿En serio? ¿Los Simpson? ¡Qué guapo! No, ya con esto es mi nivel favorito. Ahora me parece espectacular que hayan hecho algo así tan guapo. Que hacer algo así... Es demasiado infantil, no me interesa. Buah, este me quiere sonar, pero no lo conozco tampoco. Pero mola. Bomberman. Es que claro, esto no es popular en España, el Bomberman, creo. ¿Quiénes son esos? ¿Esos son referencia a los que han diseñado el nivel? Puede que sí, ¿no? Lo han diseñado estos dos, ¿no? Nintendo. Los creadores, qué máquinas, ¿eh? Bomberman en España es Pepe y los globos, bro. Bro, guapísimo. 10 de 10. Me ha ganado con lo de los Simpsons. Soy bien fan de los Simpsons. Desde pequeño no me han faltado los Simpsons en la mesa mientras comía casi nunca. Freedom, Stream Demon. A ver, ¿qué tal el Freedom? Simpsons en la mesa mientras... Hostia, ha petado. Bro, me peta el PC. Es tanta epilepsia en estos niveles del Geometry que el PC va a explotar, tío. Está soplando ya que flipa. Me va a petar la patata de la PC. Ahora... Ojo. De momento demasiado repetitiva la música. Vale. Cambiando un poquito. Es como música navideña. ¡Dejen de poner ZZ! Gracias, saludos. La verdad que tremenda mierda de nivel, bro. ¡Oh, una silla! Esa me mola. Nah, gente, realmente no es mierda. Pero me gustaban más los otros. Pero marea demasiado, marea muchísimo, cabrón, me cago en la puta. Este es el más epiléptico de todos los que he visto, bro. What the fuck, bro. ¡Joder! ¿Cuántas veces tocó pasto en su vida? ¿Eso qué es tocar pasto? ¿Tocar teta o qué? Yo no puedo acabar de ver esto. Ya déjate de rollo, bro. Que encima de que necesito gafas y llevo 80 horas aquí diarias en el ordenador, me vas a terminar de partir la vista. Vete a tomar por culo. Que te den. Ya no quiero verlo más. Puta. Por favor, uno que no me deje ciego, gente. Me habéis pedido 55 minutos. Y una mierda. ¿55? Eón del 90% al 100%. ¿Qué dices, hermano? ¿Qué dices aquí? 100... ¿Cómo va a durar 55 minutos? Sí, si tú pretendes que yo me vea 55 minutos un puto nivel de geometrías, tú eres imbécil, bro. No te lo crees ni tú. No te lo crees ni tú, chaval. Pero debe ser fácil, ¿no? A ver el final, gente, a ver el final. Dios, tío, déjame. Otro que me va a dejar ciego. Madre de Dios, santa bendita. Y encima ponía que era del 90 al 100 y aquí pone 8%, cabrón. Encima nos están timando. Madre, venga, estoy hasta los huevos de que me dejen ciego. ¿Qué necesidad hay de tanta luz? ¿Qué necesidad hay? Ya, no. Uno que no sea epiléptico, gente. Ya me estoy mareando, de verdad. Díganme otro. Es que no veo ni dónde está mi ratón para cerrar esta vaina, loco. Dios, quita. Ultraviolencia. A ver. Me está empezando a preocupar mi PC, ¿eh? Se me queda petado. No me reproduce los vídeos. What the fuck, hay que cambiar de PC. Hostia. En cuanto a diseño, 10 de 10, ¿eh? Me encanta. La música también muy guapa. Ojo, a ver cómo rompe. Espera. Es como que una vocecilla ahí en medio de que rompa le da aura, ¿eh? Soul. ¡Hostia! ¡Una araña gigante! ¡Oh my god! ¡Me dispara! Oye, pero eso es simple efecto visual. No te puede matar con una bola que dispara, ¿no? Molaría. En GG. Hostia, es una locura, ¿eh? Ultraviolence. Es cortito, pero muy intenso y bien hecho. Me gustan los diseños, la música. No me aburre la música, no se me hace tan repetitiva. Te podría decir que entra dentro del top 5 de mis niveles favoritos, ¿eh? Fuera de coña, me ha gustado mucho este. De los que hemos visto hasta ahora me quedaría en primer lugar el de las colaboraciones que han salido en Los Simpsons. En segundo lugar el del demonio que hemos visto, que había muchos símbolos satánicos y todo. Era el segundo o tercer nivel que hemos visto. Y el tercero te diría que este, ¿eh? Sí. Ojito, tiene buena pinta. Va, el último, Skeletal Shenanigans. Creo que este me va a gustar bastante, ¿eh? Ojo. Pero si no se me peta el puto PC cada vez que abre un puto vídeo. Hostia, el diseño Player 0, cómo mola.